Hey,
How are
so
you?
you know what? If you really want to know, I'm excited that I have power because we're in Indianapolis and we had a gazillion tornadoes. Like one
Mm.
went over our house last night. I just got power
Oh
back like
yeah,
an
you guys
hour
just
ago.
I just saw this. Someone just texted me that they had the worst night of their lives. I was like, I didn't know what they were talking about. I said, I'll call you back. I'm doing a radio tour. That's what happened, right?
Yes, yeah, it was. I grew up in the Midwest, so I'm excited to have you here, Rebecca, because you're a Midwest girl too. So I've been through the tornado stuff before, but I have never actually experienced, like my husband went upstairs. We were in the basement with our seven cats, and my husband went upstairs to see if our house was still above us.
Yeah, no, it's
So
horrible. I'm so
yeah,
sorry that you had to deal with that. I mean, so not to capitalize on fear, that's not what we're doing, but
sure.
that if you talk to any meteorologist or anywhere where you both are Indiana gals,
Hmm.
you know, this is one of those things where any meteorologist, when you look at the data, and the data don't lie, look at the frequency, the enormous change of frequency of tornadoes. And I'm talking like F3 tornadoes and hurricanes, which I'm from New Orleans. So Josh and I are from the same place. We went to the
Hmm.
same high school.
Oh wow.
These are big changes, right? Enormous fear storm activity going straight up in the Midwest, an enormous ferocity and frequency of storm systems in the South and Southeast, and also too in the North and Northeast, and also hitting places like Ireland. These are huge shifts, and that's why we're here to talk to you right now about Rebecca Tickell and Josh Tickell and our tiny but mighty team have literally built a film series that we are giving to you April 22nd that basically tells you that we don't have to live like this, that this can all change. We are about to balance our climate and build a very robust agricultural economy through regenerative agriculture. And that is why we're here. How cool is that?
I love it, and this is something that is near and dear to me. So when I saw the opportunity come across to talk to both of you, yeah, I think there's a lot of people right now. We're living in a time where a lot of people are confused and scared, and when you think about saving the planet, it doesn't feel like little me can do anything. So, Rebecca, you've been doing this a long time. You've taken your passion and your skills in filmmaking, and you're making a difference. So, can you share a little bit with us about maybe some impact that you have seen being an individual, being passionate about saving our planet, and what are some things that we can do that are like, wow, this is going to make an impact?
Thank you. Yes, I think people listening probably have really started to hear the term regeneration being used more and more. And so the biggest impact I think that our films have had, which I'm so proud of, is education. Like that's the biggest impact. Educating, reaching a critical mass of people, a tipping point of people with the message regeneration can stabilize climates and create climate resiliency. So we can take all of that carbon we've emitted, that teraton of carbon that we've put into the atmosphere, we can sequester all of that through how we manage our farmland. So 40% of the earth is land, and of the terrestrial land on earth, 40% of that land is agricultural land. So that means with the land that we manage through how we grow our food, we can sequester all of that carbon. So this is great news. The films show a pathway and educate people for how we can actually turn this whole thing around and create a thriving future. And that's not really the conversation that we're having right now on a global scale. Right now, we're talking
Yeah.
about basically all of the impacts from global desertification. So global desertification means that mega droughts, it means that the loss of livable land, loss of water, loss of greenery.
Biodiversity, all of it.
And so people then start fighting over resources. It leads to war. It leads to massive, I mean, bad news, like stuff,
Yeah.
people in boats who've lost their homes, who are looking for a place to live. That's what that leads to. And it doesn't have to be this way. There's a whole other way that we can be doing this that not only stabilizes the climate and reverses climate change, but it actually creates nutrient dense food. It helps heal farmers because farmers right now are having a suicide epidemic in the United States. They have a 5 times higher suicide rate than
And in India, the numbers are absolutely staggering.
No
all around the
kidding.
world. All around the world, desertification is happening. We've desertified 1/3 of our planet, and we've lost 2/3 of our planet's topsoil. And within a short period of time, we can rebuild that soil. We can take all of the carbon that we've emitted, sequester it, pull it down into that soil, create healthy food, healthy ecosystems. This happens on a global scale, but you can't think on a global scale as an individual. You have to think about your community, like where you live. And so when we
Right.
start taking action individually and as communities within the areas that we live, and we start taking care of that soil, that's the regeneration movement. So there's great news. Kiss the Ground and Common Ground show people how we can actually turn this whole thing around, and that there is hope, and it gives us a choice, and it allows us to be empowered versus at the impact of fear, which is where we're at right now. And that's no way for us to live. And it's certainly not going to put us in action to do what we need to do right now to stabilize the climate. And so that's what Kiss the Ground and Common Ground are. One thing you can do is on Earth Day, April 22nd, you can watch Kiss the Ground and you can watch Common Ground
With us.
with us.
Yes.
Yes, let's talk about this party. You're getting a lot of people together, and I think we have to find a way to get together and have good energy, positive energy, and this is exactly what you're doing. So tell us about the watch party.
I think Scarlett Johansson is behind you and she's coming. She's
Is she
gonna,
really?
no, I'm saying I'm gonna figure out how to make that
Get
happen.
her.
As
You
long
get
as
her
she,
there.
as long as she wears that outfit. Um, April 22nd.
That's what you should just tell
Well,
people. Scarlett Johansson's going to be there. She's going to be
yeah.
wearing that outfit. Come and
Well,
join us.
think about this. Listen,
She
think
doesn't know
about this.
that yet, though.
Yeah, she doesn't know it quite yet, but think about the people that we've been able to bring into this fold that are such loved human beings. Donald Glover, Laura Dern, Jason Momoa, Woody Harrelson, Rosario Dawson. Like I feel so grateful to be in that sort of actory narrative a group. Although I left acting almost 6 years ago, to launch these films with Josh and Rebecca, build my companies, and raise my kids. And so I was like, we have 3 films to launch. I have children to raise and companies to build. There's no way I can be on a set. So let's dive in. And Rebecca and Josh and I and this amazing team they've been able to build, this Rebecca and Josh just came from a whirlwind tour of filming our 3rd film, Groundswell, to the great, and I mean not in a bad way, but like very hard on their bodies and families. They put themselves into a very robust shooting schedule globally that just broke them down. But then they said, well, we're going to regenerate. And then they went and got better and they just started editing. But this is what they've done. They've given their lives to create this. So April 22nd, what do we do, Rebecca?
April 20th. By the way, thank you, Ian. And April
What do you
20th.
mean? Thank
Thank you
you.
for all you've done and taking your voice and doing everything you can to spread this message. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Here's what everybody can do. April 22nd, watch Kiss the Ground, watch Common Ground on Prime, tell all your friends, and then go to commongroundfilm.org and you can join us for the watch party. And we can talk all about how awesome this is, the great news. That's not normally what you're doing when you're talking about climate or the planet or the environment, talking about good news. But that's what
Good news. We're the good news.
I love that. That's what we need. I mean, that's what you see my show. It's a positive vibe show, and it is positive in a way that's empowering action. Not just that, yay, we're positive, because no, this is there's a lot of difficult things going on, but taking that that positive action. Isn't there also, did I see you're also like, you're going to give us some books too, Rebecca?
Free books, go to commongroundfilm.org, and we constantly have educational content for your kids, content for your family, content for your classroom. The goal is to get this information out in a way that's palatable for everybody, because everybody has a role to play. So commongroundfilm.org, watch our fun live stream on Earth Day, April 22nd. You don't have many conversations about dirt that are this exciting, let me tell you.
And by the way, not to sound sort of like crass, but you know, I've known these guys since 2007. I mean, we're family, right? And then we came back together in 2013 to really turn Kiss the Ground into what it became, right? Kiss the Ground, remember, touched 1 billion people. Took us 7 years. It took them 7 really long years to make this film. But what's so amazing is, and sitting, oh my gosh, the endless amount of time in the edit room, Rebecca, we're all sitting there going like, we have to make soil sexy. We have to. So you
Yes.
make it this character, the soil becomes the character. And by the end of it, especially with Woody Harrelson's like super fun melodic voice, people are in love with soil. And they realize the difference of what dirt is versus soil. And people are in love and they're inspired. We gave Kiss the Ground away to 39 million American students.
Wow.
Think about that. So just think of the numbers, right? And this is real impact. And so you have young people changing their, not just their view, but they learn that they're going to be okay, that this is not a doom and gloom scenario. We have the path. And Rebecca and Josh, their films open that pathway up and show it to us. What other societal gift can you give when people realize, wait, I'm a farmer. You're telling me I don't have to be on the drip of the agrochemical companies. I don't have to borrow every month money every year. I don't have to be in debt. You mean my family? You mean I can take my wife and kids to dinner once a week, not once a month? You mean that I don't have to be in the hospital because I'm exposed to toxic chemicals? When you start building that, and like Rebecca just said, each community is what matters. Now, listen, we stay so far away from politics. I could not care less about politics. But if you think about how a gubernatorial election is won, it comes down to tiny communities. You know, look at this map and it's these little tiny spots. That's how you build out a giant, healthy, robust agricultural economy while balancing your climate, while, skyrocketing human health. Because when you do that, guess what comes down? Human health care costs. It's like precipitously, right? So this is a great thing. It's all positive. So I just don't think people are used to that.
Yeah.
So it's exciting for us to share.
I know you've got a lot of people to talk to today, and I did want to ask you, Ian, well, one, I wanted to thank you because you probably don't know this, but you donated 3 bottles of Brothers Bond to my Whiskey and Whiskers initiative for our
I remember
film.
that.
I took those bottles on TV with kittens, and it was the most amazing segment. Like all these kittens dancing around your whiskey bottles.
You rock. I remember that because I thought this is the best name ever. Whiskey and Whiskers. Like, come on.
Thank you. Well, it's in September if you want to join us. And Rebecca, you can come home and join us in Indiana. But you're also with the whiskey, aren't you? I mean, you've got proceeds that are going to help all of these initiatives too, right? It's all doing good with Brothers Bond.
Brothers Bond, we were sort of like the first whiskey brand out there to ever come out of the gate, literally as a new company, giving back to regenerative agriculture. And we were this teeny tiny company in the business, writing these like 6-figure checks to Kiss the Ground and to regenerative practices. And one of the things was now the industry is sort of understand this is how this follows an amazing path. And when Rebecca and I break down some numbers for you, like this will blow your mind. So say there's 200, like, look, I make whiskey, right? So it's a lot of grain. And Rebecca is from a 6th-generation legacy farming family in Indiana. say there's 200 million grain acres in this country. Now, this is just grain. We're not talking about other agricultural products and industrial agriculture. Regenerative agriculture saves about $400 an acre. So if you're looking up to that savings and you were just to multiply, just hypothetically, 200 million acres times $400, that's $80 billion of American farmers' money per year that we send to foreign countries that own these agrochemical companies. Can you believe that?
That's amazing.
When we reverse that and start injecting that back into Middle America, that is literally the reindustrialization of Middle America. We're talking about scalable, massive change where farmers make money, communities make money, and that positive cascade that comes with that, right? Tax base goes up, school districts get better, water districts get better, after school programs get implemented. Like, the local Chevy dealership is like thriving because they're just selling, more cars and trucks, and farmers are like, wait, I can have a truck that actually the heat works. I live in Indiana, it's freezing. We don't need American farmers in debt. So that prosperity is the heart and soul of what we do.
Oh my gosh. You both have just inspired me so much. And I know how many other people you're inspiring. And one more time with Earth Day, we're having a huge watch party, and commongroundfilm.org is where you can go and get all of the information. I am so excited to have had this time with you. You made a really difficult 12 hours. You've energized me to go out there and have hope and be positive and spread the good word. So thank you both so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Earth Day.
Earth Day.
See you on Earth Day.
It's
all
a day.
Right, bye.
Hey, thanks. Congratulations on an awesome show.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Bye. Thanks for joining me for another celebrity interview. KJ Today, where you'll find the positive vibes of pop culture, people to know, and pets. If you like this interview, please make sure you give it a like, rate, review, and subscribe. And join us on YouTube the first Wednesday of every month for the full KJ Today show, where we play trivia, bring you more celebrity guests, and even a pet of the week to keep you feeling the positive vibes.